remember we met. I could tell by your smile.
Welcome back to another video from this channel, Concept of the Mind. So in my previous video I gave information about why it is important to adapt to change as it relates to the business segment. And I also gave you examples of businesses that fail to adapt to change. This caused them to meet their demise or is causing them to struggle to keep their doors open. So it's only natural for me to give you information about businesses that adapted well to change and is doing well in their respective fields. I'm talking about businesses that made millions and billions of dollars yearly just because they saw a different wave in the market coming and adjusted themselves so they could pass this or take advantage of it. Because if we were to be straightforward, to run a business is a very competitive job to take on. So it's a do or die type of mindset that you will have to acquire to run a business. So the first business I will talk about is Google. I'm sure everyone who is watching this video is knowledgeable about Google because Google has their hands in everything that is technology. There are Google Maps, Google emails, and Google search engines, and the list could go on for days. But we're not here for that. We're here to talk about why Google is so successful, how they adapted to change, how did their early life as a business create such great value for them now. So first of all, believe it or not, Google had no business idea, no real vision to see where the business was going, and no business plan. So this caused the business not to be profitable for most of its starting life. So to yield a profit, Google used to sell search appliances to other businesses and would sell some of its search engine tech to other search engines to make the business stay alive. But all of this would change when Google created Google AdWords. So in 2003, Google launched its AdWords program. This allowed persons to advertise their business to people who are using the search engines to look for various things. This allowed Google to create a huge amount of value in the market and allowed them in 2008 to make over $21 billion off of advertising only. They also set a major trend for advertising on the internet for other search engines such as Yahoo and Bing.
Hey everyone, welcome to F8. Today we are going to talk about building a privacy-focused social platform. As the world gets bigger and more connected, we need that sense of intimacy more than ever. So that's why I believe that the future is private. This is the next chapter for our services.
Another business on this list would be Facebook. Facebook was created by Mark Zuckerberg and consisted mostly of college students. This was like a secret society for all of the students going to college, but with the mindset of gaining more popularity and revenue for the business. Mark kind of switched up the strategy of the business, and with its main contenders, MySpace and Friendster, having more popularity and gaining more revenue in the market. In 2005, he then opened up Facebook to high school students as low as 13 years old. And instantly, this business strategy was a success. In fact, in 2009, a survey was done by Compete.com and it showed that Facebook was the most popular social media site. The company has also sold a 1.6% stake of Microsoft for $240 million.
He has a temperature. I've really got to find a doctor.
I can't believe that crazy driver didn't have insurance. Look at all these doctor bills. I really need a lawyer.
What am I going to do this weekend? Maybe I'll go to the movies. No, I'm going to rent a movie.
For all your real-life situations, turn to the Real Talk section of your South Central Bell Yellow Pages. It's free. Use a touch-tone phone. Call the phone number on the page, then press the 4-digit code next to the information you need to know. Call Real Talk today. The IT network, touching tomorrow today.
The fourth business on this list would be the Yellow Pages. In almost every business place or household that you would go, you would see a Yellow Pages directory. These directories provided hundreds of business contact informations, addresses, and types of service they provided. So it was only natural for you to see these big books everywhere. But with the world going into a technological age, no one would like to have these big heavy books around them all the time. So in 2017, the CEO for Yellow Pages, Richard Hanscott, announced that by 2019 they would stop printing Yellow Pages. And within the same year 2017, they launched their internet page that would provide the same service but with greater potential to reach more places in the world.
Apple shares at a record. The stock has more than doubled over the past year, in spite of the law of large numbers, and has been a major influence on the performance of market cap weighted indices like the S&P 500. But the $1.3 trillion company does not have the largest S&P weighting over the past 40 years. That distinction goes to IBM. Let's find out whether Apple can keep climbing. Joining us now, Tom Forte, Senior Research Analyst at D.A. Davidson. Also with us is Senior Markets Commentator Mike Santoli. Our guest host, Jason Trennert, is here as well. I just want to start with you, Mike, because doubling in the past year, it finally happened. Yep. All the bulls on Apple that waited so long. And it happened, I guess, on the AirPods. That's being simplistic, because I'm saying there was no new there's no Apple Car. Right. There's none of the things that Apple was supposed to do ever happened. It was just
but the China
more
trade stuff didn't go as
China trade didn't go badly, and I wasn't going to mention it, but he has a pretty good relationship with Washington.
Another business on the list would be Apple, or more formally known as Apple products. I know a lot of persons wouldn't believe this if I were to tell them that Apple was almost shut down. In 1993 to 1997, Apple was struggling to find a consistent source of revenue for the business. They tried selling everything. They tried selling digital cameras. They tried selling TV appliances. They even tried selling portable CD players. The main reason for poor business during this time was because of the internal conflicts that were happening with Steve Jobs and other members of the board. After Steve Jobs reclaimed his rightful position of CEO within the company immediately started to see a clear vision of success and started to create great products for customer value. Apple had three major successes within the business that knocked sales out of the ballpark. These three products were iMac, the iPod, and the iPhone. With success like the iPod selling over 100 million units within a 6-year period, and the iPhone having 100% year-to-year sales increase, it would be hard not to say that Apple isn't a success.
PayPal issuing some new guidance during the annual Investor Day event. CFO John Rainey saying that the company expects to triple total payment volume to $2.8 trillion in 2025 from $936 billion in 2020. They expect revenue to more than double to more than $50 billion from about $21.5 billion in 2020. And Melissa, they also expect to generate more than $40 billion in free cash flow over the next 5 years. And guys, this new guidance comes after some color earlier from CEO Dan Schulman that they expect to double active accounts to 750 million in 5 years from 377 million today. And the comments come a week after a strong earnings report for PayPal. It reported record payment volume. The stock, by the way, dipping a little bit lower, still positive on the day, hit a fresh all-time high today and has rallied 260% since March of last year, essentially the start of the pandemic. Tyler.
The last business on this list would be PayPal. PayPal has long made its name as a payment service giant. It has proven time and time again that it's very efficient and very adaptive to change. But how did it all start? How did PayPal become so successful? PayPal was never envisioned to be what it is today. Instead, it was envisioned to be a cryptographic company. But the two founders of the business saw that this wasn't happening. So instead of sitting down and hoping for a miracle, they adjusted the business plan and adjusted the business to the market where they saw that persons need value. But it was not easy. PayPal had a lot of frauds and hackings in their systems. But being the revolutionary company that it is, they immediately jumped onto the problem and fixed it. And until this day, PayPal's security measures are still considered some of the best security measures in the industry. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you've learned something from it. I'd love to hear your opinions on which one of these businesses had the best come up. You can just leave that in the comment section. And please remember to like, share and subscribe.